I have started running from scratch more times than I can count and more times than I would like to admit. And each time, it feels like you've literally never ever done it before. And I have found each time I start, I try doing different things. Oh, cow. And there's definitely some things that help me more than others. So here's the 3 things that I focus on when I start running from scratch again. It's so muddy. Number 1, attitude. How you talk to yourself is really, really important before and after a run. There's no point comparing yourself to others, what they're doing. The key to going out for a run again and again is to meet yourself where you are. You can't compare yourself to anybody else, or even yourself to like months ago, a few years ago, a few weeks ago even. I ran walk my first half marathon. I read online like you need to like fully recover, and I decided 2 weeks was off running. I took 2 weeks off, and then I went out a run for 2 miles, and I couldn't even do a 2-mile run afterwards. Felt like I'd never run before. So don't compare yourself to others or even to yourself from like where you were. Meet yourself where you are. Running is mental, so like you have to, consistency is like the most important thing. Keep going back out there time after time. Even if you go and run for 1 minute, the next day you go out and run for another minute, then within a week you can maybe go out and run for 2 minutes. You know, you don't have to go out there, run a 5k 30 minutes for it to be a run. It all counts, even walking. Some people have a why. I never had a why. You know, what's your reason for starting to run? For some people that's really important. Never thought I could do it, but I just signed up for a lottery, and then I paid a ton of money, so much money, and I didn't want it to go to waste. Anybody that tells you that running is not expensive, you know, does not know how expensive this habit can get. You don't need much, but there's 2 important bits of gear to get. You do need a good pair of running shoes, and that doesn't mean expensive. It means a proper pair for your knees mainly, not for anything else. You want to be able to walk when you're 50. You want to be able to go up and down stairs. You do not want to damage your knees. If you're anything but a spring chicken, like, you've got to protect your knees, because even for walking, that can hurt your knees, especially if you're heavier like me. It's really important that you get a bit of cushioning. I used to work in a running shop, and I gotta tell you, like, yes, the shoes are expensive, but you genuinely can go and speak to somebody about and finding a shoe that's really right for you. And once you find that one shoe, you can keep buying the same shoe online. You don't have to keep going back to the shop. Unfortunately, sports bra is a must. Invest in a good one, which also is really difficult. I'm still on the search for. I've invested so much money in a good sports bra, in many good sports bras, and none of them are quite right. They're good, they're just not quite right. Otherwise, your back's gonna hurt, your posture's gonna be all over the place. Gear is not the most important thing. If investing in a nice pair of leggings that make you feel really good, make you go out, use them, then that's great. But you don't need it, you really don't. After Berlin, I took a couple of months off. I just wasn't feeling like running, and I don't want it to be a chore. So I decided, rather than guilt myself into going out for a run when I didn't feel like it. You finish a run, you want to feel like, oh, I can do that again. I'd like to do that again. You know, it was hard, but it wasn't impossible. Lastly, consistency really is key. Not doing too much too quickly doesn't mean that you don't go out there often. Going out 3 times a week is like a good starting point, but in between going out for walks, the time you would spend, you know, going out running. I just jumped in a horrendous puddle. Just going out there, showing up for yourself every single day, whether it's going for a walk. When I first was thinking about going back into running, I went out for a walk every single day for like 6-7 days. Not increasing the volume, just a walk that I enjoyed. The route I was probably going to run, with a podcast, with an audiobook. I was just putting that habit in place to like keep going out mentally, knowing that this is me time. So yeah, consistency is really, really key to, you know, finding some enjoyment in what is really quite a painful thing. If anybody tells you running is easy, and when they say it should be an easy run, it never is. It isn't, but you get better, you get stronger, and you get better at accepting the pain and dealing with it and pushing through it. I have just been using those 3 things to start training for London Marathon, because guess what? Somebody also was very lucky to get into that. So I'm gonna try my best to stick to a plan and, you know, go out there. Better get home because it's getting dark. We do not like running in the dark.